So we're going to be going to Lijiang Tower rather than the map that we were just on Numbani beforehand.
All right.
Here we go. Lijiang Tower. Let's try that again. Working all of the kinks out of this as we're going.
Seems like we've got a Leroy on one of these teams.
Oh, Leroy Jenkins. You got to watch out for him.
Gonna play Reinhardt and just charge straight into the enemy.
Charge right in and get everybody killed, but he's then going to say, at least I have chicken.
At least I have chicken. All right, the familiar Lijiang Tower.
Hopefully they play a hamster on this one around, because I'm looking forward to seeing a hamster go around that pole like a tetherball.
Yeah, it's definitely a strategy.
It's a strategy I'd be using. Or I'd be playing probably Soldier 76 on this one. Those are like my two go-tos for this particular
Soldier 76 is pretty good. If you can get a good angle with Widowmaker or Hanzo, they can be really good shooting down into that open middle area. But it is sort of small, so you're kind of closer than you really want to be as a Widow.
Yeah, you don't have many sniping opportunities in this map as you do in other maps.
And it looks like we've got Mei. Mei is a pretty good one too, because you can drop your ult in the middle of that and pretty much freeze the entire point.
Yep. So it may work, it may not. We'll see if it pays off for them though.
And I hate you so much for saying that.
It's only those jokes. Sometimes you gotta just go with the jokes. So it looks like there's at least one Lucio out there. Did they have a remake? I know they remade him at least once.
Lucio?
To where it was like line of sight, and then they remade him to where it was like a 10-foot like radius around him.
He's got a radius around him. The Reaper comes in from behind.
And there's the hamster.
And there's the hamster, and there's the tetherball you were waiting for.
That's the tetherball we were waiting for. It was a good strategy there.
So it looks like You Shall Not Be Named is taking the point here.
Looks like is that We Who Shall Not Be Named is taking the point this first time around.
And so now it'll be up to who are we up against today?
Well, it's No Quarter who's also out there.
I don't know why, but I can only remember a quarter of that name.
That's understandable. It's one of those more difficult names to remember because
No Quarter's tetherball gets stopped in its tracks and destroyed, but he drops the minefield first, and it looks like their Roadhog is just running into those.
Yeah, I think Mei might be a strategy against the hamster in this one because that wall you're not able to go around.
Absolutely.
It stops the tetherball from swinging.
All right, so No Quarter grouping up for their second attempt to retake this middle point.
That's what you like to see. You got to group up together. Oh, Reaper dropping in behind.
That was... The Reaper and the Hammond are here alone, but their entire team is already gone. The tetherball comes in again, but...
And he dies.
It's just not enough. Reaper's on the backside there, and he's going to regroup with his team, and Tracer goes down. Looks like he got a headshot on the Tracer.
Oof. That's what that red arrow probably indicates is a headshot.
Hammond is frozen. Hammond is dead.
Now you got to be careful. You're coming in piecemeal this time. You got to make sure that you're going in as a team, not one at a time.
He pulls the High Noon out for a single kill on the Lucio.
As long as you get one of the kills.
Hammond is up here. He's trying to tank up the whole team, trying to get onto the point. Reinhardt comes all the way in with a massive charge. There's the Leroy.
Yep, that was probably the Leroy, but that was a good charge because he had to push it into overtime.
Reaper gets frozen and pulled. He did pull it into overtime. He bought them enough time to get back here and try. Hammond is back again. He's going to try and... oh no, he's
off the map, but
he just gets charged and stunned and just can't do anything. Lucio's buying as much time as he can. They don't even seem to know he's there.
One person knows Lucio.
One, but she's the healer. She can't deal the damage enough to kill a Lucio who's healing himself. And he's bought enough time for Reaper to get back on the point. But finally he goes down to Reinhardt.
And that's going to do it for the first round of this
round.
map. So we who shall not be named are taking that first round on that map.
In style.
So round 2, this is also going to play to the advantage of the hamster, because this one's got more opportunities to knock folks out of windows and then off of ledges.
Especially on these narrow walkways. Inside here, because this is all walled in, you can't really knock them out, but it's still a great spot. It's such a tight area. Hammond takes up almost the entire width of this as he swings around. You can't really dodge him.
So we're going to see how they play this one. And
shall not be named is pushing forward. Charge comes through here from Reinhardt, but he's just surrounded and immediately goes down.
He knocks somebody off the ledge, though.
And it looks like who shall not be named is going to take the point. Hammond is going round and round.
Oh, but the May wall
stops him. The May wall has stopped his fun. He gets frozen, he gets stunned, he gets frozen again, and then he dies.
So we shall not be named is not totally in control of this point yet, but they are controlling the point.
The Tracer's buying as much time as she can, but she can't buy that much, unfortunately. And with 4 on the point, it will be going over to We Who Shall Not Be Named.
Yep, so We Who Shall Not Be Named taking that point and then immediately jumping
Oh, Reinhardt just gets knocked right off his side and falls to his doom.
Oh, unfortunate for that Reinhardt.
Roadhog coming out, pushing them all back toward their spawn.
And it looks like now no quarters trying to push forward,
and it looks
Reinhardt
like he
got
hooked right off of the ledge again. So he falls to his death, and another one they're just using the environment to kill him now.
That's what you got to do. Use everything to your advantage. So We Who Shall Not Be Named getting a couple of quick kills because Roadhog is able to just hook people off
Roadhog
the ledge.
and the Lucio can just he's got a boop. He boops you and you fall.
And the boop makes you fall backwards.
And there goes another one.
Just like, I think that's 3 or 4 kills with Roadhog.
And that one didn't even get oh, that was a huge high noon. 3 kills.
One might say it was a high noon. That's actually what he says when he does the ultimate.
Yes, it is.
So, able to actually make that happen. So, the pushes seem to be going the same direction. There is another direction they could be going, but they don't actually
They could change it up, but it doesn't seem like they're interested in that. I did see the Tracer trying to get over this bridge actually flashed herself right off the ledge and into the pit as well. I think the environment has killed more people this game than the players have.
And they're pushing back now.
All the way back toward the enemy spawn. And as always, that is a bold and potentially risky choice to try and spawn camp, especially when you charge yourself straight off a ledge and die.
Yep.
And so We Who Shall Not Be Named are going to lose this fight,
but they're going to win the round.
It doesn't even matter.
So We Who Shall Not Be Named wins that particular round, so they win the map. So that's 1 for We Who Shall Not Be Named.
And the Roadhog gets the play of the game. Is it going to be
all of those hooks off of the ledge?
Let's find out. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at that. That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
So that's going to do it for the first round. So it seems like we might be having a little bit of problem with our frame rate on stream. So we're going to check to see what's going on.
Off air.
should probably make him the group by now.
Yeah, make him the group leader. Alex, make Axiom. Alex, yeah, make Axiom the group leader.
All right, so it looks like we were trying to fix the quality of our stream for y'all. It looked like it was getting a little choppy, so that's what the delay was for there. But it should be working now, and I believe the next map that we're going to be going to is Numbani, not Lijiang Tower. So we're just going to fix that real quick. So let's take a look while we're waiting at the standings on how they are now. So right now, We Who Shall Not Be Named is going up against No Quarter, and so far, both of these teams not doing too well as far as victories go. So both of these teams have lost all of their matches. We'll see how it goes going into this next round, or this next map.
That's not
on
quite
this
true.
round.
We Who Should Not Be Named won one.
That's
They've won
true.
one and lost one.
And No Quarter did beat the Sauce Bros, so it is one apiece right now. So we're going to go ahead and throw
jump
it
into the game now.
Numbani, the next map. So Numbani, again, one of these maps that we've seen quite a few times. It's one of those good defending maps where you see the pro teams going up high rather than come through low, but you want to be pushing together as a team for all of this rather than coming through one or two at a time. You want to be using your team composition to push as one rather than to push 1, 2, 3 people at a time, because if you're only pushing 1, 2, 3 people against a whole team, you're going to die pretty quick.
See what they've got set up to attack with here today.
So that's this is one of the doors that they're able to come out and attack. So it's going to be We Who Shall Not Be Named on the defense first, and No Quarter are going to be attacking first. So it looks like there's a Roadhog, a Reaper, a Lucio, a Soldier 76, and an Orisa.
So I see we're still having some technical difficulties with the stream. We're still troubleshooting those.
Hopefully we can fix those. But it looks like We Who Shall Not Be Named is pushing up pretty far forward.
They've got a Widowmaker who's in the front line. I'm not sure that's quite where she wants to be.
That's definitely not where Widowmaker wants to be. Widowmaker wants to usually
be... She is getting really low, and Reaper is going in after her. And he just thinks better of it when he decides to go through that door. I don't blame him. Looks like they're going to stack up here and try and make it up the main road and onto the point.
And we'll see if they can actually get there.
We Who Shall Not Be Named loses their Reinhardt. And this is one of those levels where that's a huge deal, because Reinhardt will take a while to respawn and then a while to run back.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have a big advantage for this upcoming fight for the point.
Yep, Reinhardt is not the quickest person out there. It looks like they're moving up
Orisa
on the point
takes
now.
out... It's like Soldier goes down, but they take out 3, but Reinhardt's back. Runs right into Lucio, takes out the healer. Can he hold the point by himself? He's got a Widowmaker, but that's not really much. He goes down. Widowmaker's trying to get away.
She got away for a little bit, but then she
but
goes
not
down.
for long enough. It looks like they will take
So no
at
quarters
least
taking the point.
probably the whole point. I don't think they can get back to contest this soon enough.
It's going to be real close.
There
if
it
they
is.
can.
Nope, they couldn't quite get on point fast enough. The hook comes in. May gets hooked in, but she gets away. But then the soldier ult comes down to finish her off. That was interesting. The Earth Shatter comes down from Reinhardt. I'm not sure if that was...
So Reinhardt having to back off there because he got separated from his team.
Comes charging him again and gets...
Lucio bumps him back.
bumped backwards. And that's an interesting interaction. He'll come charging forward, and then he'll just get redirected by that bump a little bit.
It looks like there's 4 people now on that payload. So that payload moving forward as No Quarter is doing a really good job this time around.
They are pushing for a win here. Getting a lot of distance on this payload.
Yep.
Let's go see where...
And they got a Bastion sitting on top of it
Where
now.
We Who Shall Not Be Named are setting up for this last defense on this segment. Oh, they've got a Reaper behind them. Let's see if...
Yep. So that Reaper making a run away. But that Bastion is just
They've got a Bastion on the payload. And they had a shield in front of it. Let's see if they can... No, it's just going to mow everybody down.
That's what they call bullet hose mode right there.
The Mei ult comes out, but it's not on the point. And we're going to see if this Bastion can just... Bastion ult comes in.
Yep, turning it into that tank. So it looks like another shield going down. Bastion still right there. They've basically turned this payload into a tank at this point.
They have. Bastion is not actually entirely covered by that shield. It's a little too close. And Reinhardt is just beating them up from behind, but it's not quite enough. The Roadhog ult comes out, but Bastion takes down Roadhog too.
There goes the Bastion.
Bastion finally taken down by the
McCree ult.
But is it too little too late?
Yep, I think it might be.
The Reaper ult comes down, clears out everyone. They're gonna try and hold with Reinhardt, but it's not going to be enough.
No, they're trying to hold with each person because they're
one
right
at a time.
there.
One at a time. That's all they got. But it's forced off point, and
yep. So No
that's
Quarter
round 1.
is gonna take that first round as part of this. So they're gonna score 3 points for that, and then it's gonna switch over to No Quarter on the defense, and We Who Shall Not Be Named on the offense this time.
And so
that's No Quarter right there, as you can see on stream, winning that first part of the round. And this is We Who Shall Not Be Named over there.
Well, that's set up for No Quarter's defense.
We Who Shall Not Be Named also needs to win the entirety of this round, potentially force a draw, which will go then to the next map.
I'm not sure how the draws on this one actually play
Neither
out.
do I. I'm just guessing.
So it might be that if they both get it all the way, that they just play a third map here on this one. And then if that one is drawn, basically they just keep trying to beat each other. And if you draw twice, it might be that. I'm not exactly sure how that works.
Well, we'll see if it works, or it could be that No Quarter holds them off on this one and doesn't even need to worry about what a draw would mean. So We Who Shall Not Be Named, if they win this one, they won the first round. That would go to a round 3 overall anyway. So if No Quarter wins this, it becomes a 1-1 situation.
That it does. We're setting up pretty far forward here, the Orisa shield.
Could be a good strategy. We'll see how it plays out. And it looks like there's just a Bastion bullet hose down there as well.
The charge comes in, gets booped backwards. The Bastion is just letting loose from behind that shield, but he's going to get frozen up and killed. And that Bastion is going to take a long time to get back to And Orisa is just hopelessly cut off from the rest of her team. She's going to have to try and catch up. I don't think she's going to be able to make it fast enough, though.
I'm not entirely sure she realized where everybody went. So now they're on the point. They're on the point quick. So
Roadhog gets charged and taken down. Looks like they're getting pushed right off the point immediately. Orisa's back now, but she's just alone by the time she gets back to the rest of the fight, and it's over.
Yep, so we who shall not be named pushing him off the point really fast and getting that payload off and running.
Probably even faster than No Quarter. Very impressive. You can tell that we who shall not be named prefer to be the aggressors.
Yeah, they definitely have a good composition for moving forward and attacking.
And so the Roadhog ult comes out. It's blocked by the Mei wall, but it still gets at least one kill. And that's the Reinhardt, so it's their front line. Mei gets hooked forward and dropped.
And that Roadhog getting dangerously low.
But he's got that self-heal, and he gets to walk backwards and just walk it off. The healing ball goes flying up into the air.
It looks like there's a Bastion up high.
And there he is.
It looks like No Quarter pushing him off the payload for the first time.
Bastion goes down. And it looks like we who shall not be named is going to take this fight. They've got 3 kills. 4 kills. Roadhog's taken 2.
There's another kill right there. So we who shall not be named pushing all of No Quarter away. And now they're moving forward. So now they're going to the last point. They seem to be going much quicker than No Quarter, and that could prove to be the victory.
They've got quite a lot of time.
So they have to get up there within about, looks like, a minute or so. And with at least one person on the point. Ooh, I see what they're doing. They've got one person on the payload moving it slowly, but the rest of the team...
Here comes Mei ult, but it only hits one. They get the healer down. Mei is knocked backwards, but still alive.
And it looks like the payload's moving forward. I think what they were trying to do
the payload will just run right through this wall like that.
I think what we who shall not be named were trying to do was to wipe the other team out and then push the payload, get back to the payload, and push it forward. So you gotta always got to target the healer first.
Getting a little close to them there. They get a kill on the soldier.
And it looks like just a lot of fighting going around right here on this payload, because this is basically the final stand.
Mei ult comes out. Charge comes in. Doesn't quite kill the Orisa, but in comes the
it's gonna
Earth
be
Shatter.
Really close, because we're going down to the last few seconds.
And it looks like No Quarter has actually pushed them off the point finally.
Yep, and they gotta make it back.
And this is the hard part for the attackers, because the defenders spawn so close to where this point is. Even killing them, it just doesn't buy you much time.
Nope. It looks like, as far as time goes, they're not going to hit the time that No
And
Quarter
Bastion's
had.
got a great spot, and well, actually, they got here so fast that I think they might have the rest of this 3 minutes to go.
Because it looks like No Quarter completed it within 3 minutes 52 seconds. And right now, the payload is moving backwards as we who shall not be named are regrouping.
They've got their own Bastion.
Oh, and he's just going to rain.
And the Bastion gets destroyed by that charge. The fight's so split up.
There's fighting all over the place. Bastions are trying to take each other out.
Orisa's this fight is definitely going the way of who shall not be named now.
And that payload is going to just make its way
Going to sail right in, and that's going to be that.
And bam. So round 2 going to be complete there.
They got it all the way to the end as well, though, so they also got 3 points.
Yep.
So we're going to go into...
So that could potentially then be draw. If not, I think they might go off of time remaining.
They'll go off time remaining, which means
looks like they're going into some kind of tiebreaker for this round.
so it'll be We Who Shall Not Be Named defending again.
So it sounds like some strategy being talked about by both teams. And yeah, We Who Shall Not Be Named is on the offensive once again, trying to complete this essentially and make it the end.
So I think they'll attack this time and try and get it as far as the end, and they'll basically play another 2 rounds.
And then see who can make it
Further.
happen.
But with the time just keeps getting lower every round.
So it could potentially lead in a draw, but that's highly unlikely that that'll happen. As No Quarter not wanting to give any kind of inch here.
Setting up well forward. But with not very many people, and then Orisa just gets charged and taken down immediately by Reinhardt and Reaper.
Yep, so that's one defender down. And you want to make sure that you are not losing any of your big tanks.
And Bastion gets hooked off the high ground, is having to run for his life. Finally sets up again, starts shooting, gets one.
And gets hooked again, and the Bastion's down. There's just I think it could be that there's just so much going on screen that the stream can't handle it. Maybe that's why we're having...
There is way too much awesome sauce here.
There's just way too much good things happening.
And they've taken this point, and they're probably not going to lose it. The attackers have the respawn advantage here.
Yep, the defense is quite a far distance away.
All right, so they've got 1 minute and 30 left to see how far they can push this point, and set the bar for the other team.
Yep, and then the other team would then have 3 minutes 52 seconds to see how far.
The Roadhog coming out here. Who is he shooting at? Reaper. Roadhog versus Reaper, 1v1. Wins that one.
And we're going to come through the side door. Lots of action again happening. I think there's just too much going on for our stream to handle right now.
Too many ults, too many explosions.
Too many particles.
Earth Shatter comes down. Doesn't really hit too many. Gets 1 or 2 kills maybe, looks like.
It looks like they're just in front of the payload.
They've got a
This
Doomfist
Roadhog
this
is
time.
doing really well out there.
He is.
So you got to counter that Roadhog. No Bastion up top this time around.
No, they're all in the low ground, just trying to stall as long as they can, but they're kind of getting rolled right here.
Yep, they're steamrolled, not rickrolled. They're just getting rolled over, which that could be a lack of
All right, they're on to the last
fight.
point. They've got 20 seconds. If they can push this thing all the way into the point in 20 seconds, I will be truly impressed.
I would be truly impressed as well.
Bastion goes down, gets frozen.
He gets caught off.
Oh, there's a gravity storm over here. It's holding 2 of them back.
Now it looks like they're going to be able to get it a lot farther
A May
forward.
ult comes out, doesn't hit anything at all. The Reaper is huge. He kills 4.
Oh, that's gonna.
That might just be it. That just might be it. There's
it.
nothing left.
There's
She's on the
just a
point for a
Pharah.
second. It's into overtime. There's no time left, but they push it all the way to the end.
That was really effective.
Color me impressed.
No, I don't think that color exists in Crayon. But very impressive.
Switching sides.
So now the Team No Quarter is going to need to essentially do the same thing, but they've got a little bit more time to make that happen.
They do. But not much more time.
No, 'cause
only about a minute.
It looked like We Who Shall Not Be Named just turned up the intensity to 11.
They did. They brought their A game for that one.
And hopefully No Quarter is going to bring their A game on the assault this time around.
Let's set up over here and watch.
Looks like a couple of different characters getting played. Torbjorn now for the first time in this particular match. Looks like they're changing up. Not much, but they're changing up a bit of who is playing.
I wonder how that's going to work and attack Torbjorn.
I'm not entirely sure it will work. He's more of a defensive character.
It's because his turret is a static defense. You put it down in one spot, and then moving it can be
a pain in the butt.
Although he's had some reworks recently to make it much more easy to just throw it down. Specifically, his turret starts at level 2. You have to build it up, so it takes a lot less time.
Build it up. That was part of the glory of being a Torbjorn, is finding a good spot, building the turret up to level 2.
And you throw it now, so you can throw it at a bit of a distance. Oh. So they've got the shield in front of the turret, and the turret doesn't see anybody. And as you can see, just...
And setting the turret down in a hallway there.
That'll help cover their flank a little bit there, but it's not going to be doing too much on the front line.
Pressure on the point. I would have put it on top of the bus.
It's like Orisa has moved up the side here, but she's getting pushed back by a Roadhog in the side, and they get 2-3 kills. Reinhardt comes out swinging. Reinhardt's going to have to run for his life here as Reaper and Roadhog take him down. Yep. Roadhog takes Reaper down in return, though, so it's a good trade.
Yep, I would have still put the turret on top of the bus.
The problem with putting it on top of the bus is that it's so very exposed, and the turrets aren't terribly healthy.
I mean, it would be exposed, but it would be drawing fire from the opponents while putting...
Roadhog's forcing them all right back down this choke point with his ult. The Orisa right-click comes in to pull them all back, but I think their Roadhog ulting up through that hallway means they're going to win that fight.
Yep, and it looks like...
And they're pushed back onto the point. They're trying to defend this.
And that's what you want to do, is defend that point, because...
The Torbjorn turret is down.
If you can defend this point, this is where...
Here comes the Reaper onto the point, but he immediately gets charged right off. That was an excellent charge. Kills him instantly.
Yep, and the Torbjorn's down.
It was perfectly timed.
So We Who Shall Not Be Named seems to have turned up their defensive capabilities as well.
You can definitely hear the communications from both teams.
That's what you want to hear.
That's what you want to hear. They're all talking.
Yep, you don't want to hear silence coming from your team. A silent team is a team that's not communicating.
Absolutely. And so on this next fight, as they're grouping up for this next push, it looks like We Who Shall Not Be Named does have the ult advantage.
Yep, they've got 3 as opposed to 2, and it looks like the Reaper ult's going to be up here in just a little bit.
So the Roadhog ult comes out, pushes them all back off screen there. The Reaper ults, kills 2. He's on point, but he gets frozen. It looks like he'll survive long enough to get pulled back and die. But he takes Mei with him.
Yep, so it took a couple of players down, but wasn't able to take enough down to get objective control.
They've got to get something. You can see a little bit of frustration coming out here, I think. They've only got 40 seconds left to push all the way to the end.
Yep, they got to get all the way to the end.
You get a couple of more kills. Orisa drops her ult and her shield. Earthshatter does nothing.
Lots of attacks coming out, lots of ultimates being dropped, and
looks like
not a lot of death happening.
The Mei ult comes out, it's freezing Orisa too, and Orisa's going to go down, and that's... I don't think there's even enough time for one more full fight. By the time everyone respawns, there's only be about 10 seconds left. They're just going to have to charge at the point and hope for a miracle, I think.
Yep, this
the hook misses.
Oof, unfortunate. That was a really close hook.
It was, went right past her.
Looks like We Who Shall Not Be Named having the point contested here at the last moment.
But that's going to be it.
Yep, so that's going to do it. We Who Shall Not Be Named are going to take that map 2 wins to nothing. But that was a good couple of rounds that was in there. So since We Who Shall Not Be Named won both the first and the second maps, that's going to do it, and No Quarter's just going to lose both of these rounds. That was quite the good spot there for that Bastion to set up.
That was an excellent Bastion setup. Definitely a good flank there from the Bastion. Definitely deserving of the Pog.
Yep, play of the game. So that's going to be the round. So this is what we're looking at here going forward. So the next round is going to be the law-abiding citizens against we who shall not be named. So after a brief break, so we're going to break this stream and come back with another stream for the next round in round 5.
Mm-hmm.